All right, think about this for a second. We are all plugged into this massive digital world, right? Every single day. But have you ever really stopped to wonder what's holding it all together? What happens behind the curtain when something just breaks? Well, that's what we're diving into. We're going to pull back that curtain and look at the secret plans that keep our digital lives from completely crashing.
So let me ask you this directly. What happens when your banking app freezes right when you need it, or your company's whole network goes down, or even just your favorite streaming service goes black?
For that moment, it feels like the world just stops spinning. It's this sudden, jarring paralysis. Work grinds to a halt. Communication just stops. It feels like the digital ground beneath your feet has totally vanished.
So let's start there. Let's really dig into what's at stake when things truly go wrong.
And let's be real, a big outage, it's so much more than just an inconvenience. It's a potential crisis. I mean, it can spiral out of control so fast, hitting customers, shutting down internal operations, and just torching a company's hard-earned reputation. And the thing that separates a little bump in the road from a complete catastrophe, well, it isn't luck. It's all about having a plan.
So, what is this plan? Well, you can think of it as a resilience playbook, a strategy that's all figured out beforehand, so organizations know exactly how to prepare for, respond to, and recover from pretty much any disruption you can imagine.
The master playbook, the big one, is called the Business Continuity Plan, or BCP for short. Think of this as the high-level 30,000-foot view for the entire organization. It covers everything, the people, the processes, the physical stuff, all to make sure the absolute most critical parts of the business can keep on chugging no matter what's going on.
Now, tucked inside that big BCP is something more specific, the Disaster Recovery Plan, or DRP. This is the IT department's baby. It's their detailed, step-by-step fire drill for getting all the technical stuff, the servers, the systems, the data, back up and running after a disaster has already hit.
Okay, that makes sense. But with so many different systems, how in the world do they decide what to save first? I mean, how fast do they really need to get it back online? And maybe even more important, how much data can they actually afford to lose?
Well, those huge questions are answered by two really crucial metrics. First, you've got the Recovery Time Objective, or RTO. This one is all about time. It asks the simple question, how fast do we absolutely have to get this back online? Then there's the Recovery Point Objective, or RPO, and this one is all about the data. It's asking, how much data can we stand to lose before this becomes a total nightmare? Together, these two, RTO and RPO, they define the whole recovery game plan. So, once they have those targets locked in, how do they actually build the blueprint for a comeback?
To hit those really specific RTO and RPO goals, companies basically lean on two pillars. First, super robust and regular data backups, and second, and this is critical, physical recovery sites where they can actually get back to work.
Now, these recovery sites come in three main flavors. And honestly, the best way to think about it is like having a backup apartment. First, you've got a cold site. That's basically just an empty room with power. You got to bring in all your own gear. Then there's a warm site. This one's kind of like a partially furnished place. It's got some hardware, some network connections. The basics are there. But the top tier, that's the hot site. Man, this is the ultimate insurance policy. It is a full-blown, ready-to-go replica of your main office. You can pretty much just walk in and flip the switch.
So, why all this crazy, elaborate planning? What exactly is this digital engine room that needs so much protection in the first place?
Well, all these plans exist for one reason: to protect the organization's central nervous system, its day-to-day information systems operations. This is the absolute heart of any modern company. It's where everything important happens.
And this engine room really has three core layers. It all starts with the physical foundation, the hardware. We're talking about everything from massive data centers to the servers humming away inside them, right down to the workstation on your desk.
But of course, all that hardware is pretty useless unless it's connected. So the second layer is the network. This is all the routers, switches, and firewalls that act like the connective tissue, securely zipping data around to where it needs to go.
And finally, running on top of everything else is the software. This is the layer that really brings it all to life. From the operating system itself to the business apps and databases that you're using every single day. All three of these layers have to work together perfectly.
Okay, so let's tie this all together, because running smoothly day to day and being able to recover from a disaster, They aren't two separate ideas, not at all.
They are two sides of the exact same coin. This quote says it perfectly. Preparation is key to being able to continue business operations while protecting people, assets, and reputation. And that's really the core takeaway here. A well-run daily operation and a strong disaster resilience plan, they're totally inseparable parts of any modern, trustworthy organization.
So the next time you use an app or a service and it just works flawlessly, remember all this. The digital world we live in might seem effortless, but its very survival depends on this deeply prepared, totally invisible world that keeps it all running. Which leaves us with a final thought: just how prepared is it?